Hello to anyone listening, my name is Peter Clutton and I will be your moderator today. I am joining you for this cast commentary with two members of the cast of the Ninja Spin-Off Episode 1, and if they could now introduce themselves in alphabetical order.
Well, I don't know his second name. To know who's in alphabetical order.
Well, I'll let you guys work it out for yourselves.
Okay, I'll go first.
Take too long.
This is Stephen Boyle, and I play Leon in the Ninja Spin-Off and the Ninja.
This is James Bagnall, also known as Jamie. I play Heathcliff in the Ninja spin-off.
Yes. During recording, it's probably a slightly awkward time to ask you, but which do you prefer, James or Jamie?
Either or, really don't mind.
Not a problem. Okay, well, for listeners, for any future references to either James or Jamie, just know that we're talking about the same person.
Yes.
So yes, here we are with the opening sequence to an episode, not large amount of which actually feature any characterization, as is the want of a theme tune. But as we're leading in, it's worth saying that the episode title for this episode is Many Happy Returns, which refers to the fact that the cast of this episode consists entirely of returning characters from previously in the series.
That's me.
That's both of you. So yes, now might be a good time to delve into exactly how that came about. So, Mr. Jamie Bagnall, exactly how did you become involved in the series in the first place?
I was originally asked by Michael Page of the original Ninja series. I was a friend of his.
Other
at school.
Ninja series are available.
Indeed. However, we shall not advertise them, as that would be against rules. No, I was good friends with him at school, and he sort of said, "Do you want to come to my house and film a ninja movie?" And I thought, that sounds nuts. Let's give it a go. So yeah, he then dressed me up in his mother's leopard skin top and a lampshade, I seem to remember.
And you never looked back.
I never looked back. So there we go. That's how I got involved in it, and yeah, gradually sort of on and off over the past few years, did occasional bits here and there, as and when required.
And your character is about to appear on screen. He, beg your pardon, mustn't objectify him, is about to appear on screen shortly, and it'll become apparent to everyone that you're playing a man of extreme girth.
Indeed.
Yes. Now, is this natural girth?
No, this is girth that's been added with aid of a cushion, I seem to remember. But there we go. There's me with considerably longer hair than I do now.
Mm.
I managed to just come in through a door.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, you're one who's probably more than anyone else on the cast has had to cope with a consistent ball and chain in the form of the padding that your costume required. How was it? How was it being constantly having pillows shoved up your jumper?
It's not too bad actually when you're outside in woods and things. It's actually quite helpful in terms of warmth, because it can get quite chilly out there. I seem to remember there was one day we were out for a distinctly long period of time and got pretty chilly, but inside not quite so necessary.
It would have been good in fight scenes.
Sorry, Steve, I interrupted you. Beg your pardon.
It would have been good in fight scenes.
Yeah, I think it was used to some effect in some of your fight scenes, wasn't it?
Some cushioning, any falls that none of the rest of us had.
Now, of course, the Heathcliff being a large man as you know, a physical and character trait means that every time he appears in the series, he has to be provided with food as props, of course. Now, as a result of that, how does it feel, Mr. Jamie Bagnall, to be one of the few people to have acted for Michael Page and been provided with food on the day?
It's certainly an exclusive experience. It was always interesting when sort of got 4 or 5 hours in and people started to go, I'm hungry. Do you have any food, Page? Yes, but I'm not giving you any. So yes, it was always quite helpful. I did certainly look forward to the scenes where I got to do things like shove an entire Mr. Kipling pie in my mouth in one go and try and swallow it without looking like a complete idiot. So yes. Does that man have eyes?
Sorry?
Does that man have eyes?
Which there are 2 men with eyes. Oh, 3.
The one that we can't see his eyes.
There's 2, 3.
Yes, the man with the grey hair.
In fact, we can't see any of the people in this scene's eyes.
This is true. a tasty looking sock right there.
Yes, sorry, that's Joe Buckley who sunk his teeth into that hat.
Indeed. So, what was your next prompting question?
Oh yes, for I have a script while you have none. No, just that my attempts when creating this section of the episode were to represent Heathcliff as somebody who's progressed since school life, because in his previous appearances he's been a pupil.
I just want to point out, I'm very amused that that last scene and this scene clearly take place in the exact same room.
No, what it is, it's a building with many rooms that look very similar. I'll grant you that. And they may even contain a lot of apparently similar objects. But no, I don't think there's any reason to think that they're the exact same room. I mean, they've got different people in them for starts. But yes, particularly towards the end of this scene, we'll see that Heathcliff has gained a sort of entrepreneurial air to his dealings. How was it being the financially savvy version of Heathcliff?
It was certainly different to.
Sorry.
It was certainly different to being the sort of pupil version. Certainly his character felt a bit more developed. That said, there wasn't quite as much scope for running around and being involved in ninja fight scenes, etc.
Yeah, I can only apologise for not giving you more to do with that padding.
Well, yeah, gave me something to rest the notepad on, for sure, and my hands, as we can see there. Certainly bending forward like that was somewhat tricky. As we can see, I had the character had become somewhat bulbous by then.
You're skillful with all that makeup and prosthetics.
Yes, prosthetics. That's the right word, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, and here we find a person in a slightly fuzzy, snowy background.
Of course, yes. Exactly.
Looking somewhat confused and bewildered.
Yes, now that we don't see you in this section of the episode, I did have you record some audio lines for it. I can't even remember myself. How clear an idea did I give you of exactly what you were providing a voice for this bit?
I really can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. You gave him advice and said, "There's the white bit, and then there's things happening. Speak these lines. Don't take too long." I'm gonna assume that's the general gist of what was said.
Yep. Well, yeah, I can't imagine that my directorial skills had produced any kind of enthusiastic motivation for something so vague. I mean, is it like you're seeing into someone's memories? Was it like you're watching it on TV, or is it like you're?
I think this
like
is
you're experiencing
early on in the spin-off, where you normally ended up doing the scripts like the night before, or changing them a lot more on the day. Which I now realise you didn't do as much to the later episodes. You usually had it all set up quite clearly, but in these old ones there definitely was a lot of rewrites and changing. And oh no, actually that makes no sense. We'll see this instead.
Little bits like that, although to be honest I think that most of the rewrites came as the result of sudden cast changes later on.
Yeah.
I would say that it was handy having a script a lot of the time, certainly in the early original Ninja series. There was a distinct lack of scripting, and it was mostly ideas that Paige had, and then he would run through them, and we would film them, and then he'd go, "Actually, hang on a minute, I have no idea what I want you to say in this," and then he would have to think it up. So certainly having some sort of script does help, and I would like to think that by now he'll be using scripts a bit more to his advantage.
It was always a lot more improv in the original Ninja.
Certainly.
Well, while having used scripts myself all my amateur filming life, I can certainly appreciate the strength of having one.
The one
Page's. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. The one with Michael that always sticks in my head is just him seeing Uncle Ben's rice and going, "Oh, we're gonna have a scene with Uncle Ben's rice in it. It's gonna be hilarious." And Yeah, that's just the one where we're around the campfire, and apparently I've been hunting, and then I have Uncle Ben's rice. So
Well, I mean,
it's just those little bits like that that come together to form an episode. Rather than they set out, this is what's going to happen, this is the start of the end. It's
Yes, I mean what it boils down to is I'm a ruthless dictator. Pretty much. No, his version of things, while less structured, does offer the cast the freedom of expression to play the character the way they feel comfortable with.
which I think would have put a lot more on you, because you had to then learn how to write the characters as we had tried to portray them.
Well, to be honest, it sort of made it easier from that perspective, because having pre-established characters in all but a few instances to write for meant that I could look back to the previous episodes and use that as source material to see how you guys reacted to delivering certain lines. So meant that experimentation happened was far less required, and so the scripting became a more natural path. Now here we are in this episode sort of divides up into two parts, and first part largely dominated by yourself, Jamie, and the second part, which we've just entered, more dominated by you, Steve.
Yep.
And you're probably just about to appear on screen any second. I had the thing I should really know, but
can I ask what the thing you were carrying was? Was that a piece of pipe?
yes, that is Alzek's weapon. It is a Japanese style smoking pipe of magnified scale called a kiseru.
I see.
Which is actually a bit of... Oh, hold on, I blanked on the word. Oh, what are those things? Curtain rail. Yeah?
Yes, it was. Yeah, the wooden pole is a bit of curtain rail, and the curtain ends are used to make the adornments. And I'm speaking over your first appearance, Steve. I do apologise.
It's okay, there's a Jedi on screen just now, so it's not my... Oh, there I am.
Yep. How did it feel to be facing down a Jedi?
It's like a dream come true.
Yes, or a dream come true.
Ah! It is the name of the Jedi guy. So
oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you behind there, Jamie.
That was a funny pun.
The man who Steve is fighting there is a man called Andrew Suter, who was along for the day because he wanted to be there. I'd have to assume, because I didn't have a role in mind for him when he turned up.
That's fair enough. These clearly it's a different location. Are they just up the back of your house essentially?
Yeah, they're up in a place called Robertson Woods for non-Edinburghian viewers.
Edinburghian.
I made a word.
Certainly they look somewhat familiar from walking through them on the way to and from school occasionally.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I just want to say that scene where I caught that coin, oh my god.
What are you now?
Oh, we'll come to that.
That was a difficult scene.
Were there many outtakes?
It reminds me of the Red Dwarf
yes.
one with the bullets that just will not land on the screen.
Exactly. Yes, many outtakes, all of them available on YouTube.
You won't fool me again.
So yes, now there were
that was
only a
awesome,
few...
where that just floated up into your hand.
Oh, couldn't possibly give away the tricks of the trade of editing.
Yes, I'm sure that was just a bit of reversed footage, but there we go.
Ah, curse you, Jamie Bagley, with your savvy eagle eye. Now, Steve, when we brought you back as Leon, there were... this costume was largely the same, but we made a few minor adjustments. First edition was the scarf.
Yep.
Which was really... I mean, the reason for it there was... I mean, it was sort of twofold. It was partly so that we could hide your face at the start, and partly because it was part of your costume the last time we had you do some acting.
Yes, it's my cowboy ninja.
But the far more important addition is that your previous weapon has been replaced with a wooden sword. A black metal sword, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, so how was the changeover from, shall we call it a hockey stick?
Well, that's sort of what it was. It was very, very good to actually have something that looked like a weapon and was a lot more comfortable to hold. Trying to wield a hockey stick from the other end is not as good as I imagined it to be. And having something that looks intimidating and able to do damage was always a plus. And I felt it made the whole character himself look much more credible.
Yeah.
I'm just distracted by the fighting and the
That's
moves.
okay. Two of me can be quite distracting. Yes. Now, there's been a sort of debate between me and Michael actually about Leon as a character, which I thought it'd be good to have you weigh in on, Steve. Which is basically that before I came in and massacred his work, Michael had always envisioned Leon as the strongest ninja in the world that he'd created.
Yeah.
And in order to bring him in more long term, my feeling was that he needed to become a little bit more vulnerable to be a more to create more tension. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, because I knew I was meant to be one of the more powerful ninjas of the series, it always was rather confusing that in my first returning episode I get beaten by an old man and yourself very quickly, very early on. So I wasn't entirely sure what had happened, if I'd been depowered or just retconned in good old-fashioned retconning on the character.
Well, this is, to be honest, I can't say I ever tried to retcon. This is the biggest exercise in trying to stay true to something that happened ages ago that I've ever done.
I think it's not as big of an impact because a lot of Leon's actual powerful scenes from the ninja are considered non-canon.
Right.
From like the special movie and things like that never happened but happened. So that was one of the always things that was confusing, and with Michael's, the things you're in never happened, but they did happen. So that was always a
My defense for it, if I can try and justify myself, is that I never tried to make it seem in this episode like Leon was losing to Alzek. I tried to make it seem more like it was an impasse, because that line where Leon says earlier on, you can rewind yourselves to find out later, where he says that Alzek can't kill him as long as he still can use his arms, was my way of showing my way of trying to bring across that if the fight were to continue, it's not a foregone conclusion. It was Alzek simply trying to halt it long enough that he could actually talk to Leon.
I mean, I used air claw. Things were getting desperate.
Yes. Now that's another hotly contended technique.
I think it may well be considered one of the weakest techniques in the ninja.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the weakest techniques in anything ever.
I don't think anything ever. It does at least work once. Can't quite remember when, but
I cannot remember when that one time was either. I think I blocked someone else's air claw. I'm not sure.
Yeah, when you used it in episode 5, I was trying to make it an aspirationally cool technique. See, you got the coin all right in that shot. It's fine when you just have to hold it.
Maybe we should, in episode 5 we should have made like an air fang or something a little bit more of an upgraded part. Oh, here you were so proud of this credits in the glasses and credits and images in the glasses thing.
Was I?
You were so happy with yourself. You were so proud.
It's not bad at all. I'll give
Yeah,
it that.
it is quite good.
A question I have for you, Peter. Obviously, a lot of the setting for a lot of the ninja things, such as at the start, where you open with yourself sort of wandering around on an adventure.
Sure.
We're on sort of not quite private ground, but ground that you're not really going to get many people wandering through. How much of a problem was it at the Robertson location having undesirables, so to speak, appear on set?
In all fairness,
as long as you pick your time of day, it's not that much of an issue. We've had far worse.
I'd say we were the undesirables. These people were just people, walking their dogs, taking their children in the park, going for a run, and then they turn in the corner and there's men with sword-shaped sticks.
In the words
hacking
of Eddie
at each
Izzard,
other.
you don't want to go up the woods today, sir. You get filmed up there.
Indeed.
Thank you both very much for joining me for this commentary, and thank you all for watching.
And thank you very much.
problem.